guys are dressed. I can't possibly have dinner with you guys. Now please leave. Well then, you guys can be the ones who leave. Huh?
Trouble Busters!
I'm so excited for this dinner.
Me too.
My name is Melanie. We're about to have dinner with my in-laws. Since I was working until right before heading out here, I ended up being dressed like this. So I made sure I talked to the restaurant so I'd be allowed to join. My husband and I have been looking forward to this dinner. Ew, do I see some people from the ghetto?
Hey, Tammy, Caden.
Great to see you two. Now please take a seat. Don't tell me you're planning to have dinner with us dressed like that.
Huh? Is there anything wrong with our clothes?
I don't think there's anything wrong.
Is there an optometrist in this dining room who could help her?
Huh? Look how you guys are dressed. I can't possibly have dinner with you guys.
I feel bad for the two of you. Sean's such a failure, he couldn't even become a doctor.
Poor you. Your husband can only afford to buy you worn-out shirts like that. I've always felt that the two of them don't like me. It's not like Sean couldn't become a doctor. He just wanted to work for an office job, and it was his choice. Sean is a kind man who's fun to be around with, and I've always been happy living with him. And who are they to judge us, say that we're living a sad life? They don't know anything. I'm not letting them get away with this. Trouble Busters. All right, now please leave. This place is not for stray dogs like you. Why are you saying something like that?
If you can't realize how shabby you are, just leave.
Well then, you guys can be the ones who leave. Huh?
Oh, hey, Mom.
Great to see you, Samantha.
It seems like Sean and Melanie have to leave because of an emergency.
So I guess it's just going to be the three of us enjoying dinner tonight. I've been listening this entire time. Huh? You said something about a husband who can only afford to buy worn-out shirts and someone who couldn't become a doctor. I was listening this entire time and you were looking down on them.
So what?
Huh?
It's true, right?
Yep.
Look at what they're wearing! I can't believe they would wear something so shabby to a high-end restaurant.
That's right. I mean, look at them. They're dressed as if they're from the very first civilization in human history. Does it really matter what they're wearing? Huh?
Of course it's important. You could tell whether someone is successful or not based on what they're wearing.
He's right. You can even tell how much income someone makes by looking at what they're wearing.
You can also tell what kind of life they've been living.
There's no way you can tell any of those. What? That's just what you want to believe. Well then, do you know what kind of life I've lived? Huh? You said you can tell what kind of life they've lived just by looking at how they dress. So tell me.
I mean, Dad's a doctor and you're his wife, so I'm sure you've been living a luxurious life, right?
Do you really think so? Of course. Just by marrying a doctor, you've already won the game of life. I'm sure you've been living a super gorgeous life. I've only been able to afford bean sprouts when I was younger. What? Bean sprouts? When we first got married, my husband was still in internship. We didn't have much income back then. We couldn't afford to buy new clothes, so we were always wearing the same thing. We wore the same shoes every day until they were completely worn out.
That can't be possible. Our family has always been doctors, so there's no way you were so poor.
I'm sure your parents and in-laws would have supported you. Not even once. Don't even think the two of you and I are alike. What?
I just asked for a small support from you.
Besides, your husband said not to worry about anything. I scolded him. What? I told him not to spoil the two of you. You guys are grown adults who need to take care of yourselves, so don't expect us to be financially supporting you.
What? Why?
What's the point of being a family if you're not going to financially support us?
Why are you making it sound as if my parents are obligated to financially support you?
You should support yourselves if you're a grown married couple.
Shut your mouth.
The two of you should be the ones shutting your mouth.
Huh?
Melanie and Sean are completely right. You need to work hard to take care of yourselves. That's why I've chosen not to ask my parents or in-laws to financially support us when my husband wasn't making as much money. I had a job. You had a job? But then you've ultimately become a wife of a doctor who makes a high income. At least now you live a luxurious life. Melanie and Sean are nothing like you, Samantha.
That's right. We're not talking about the past. We're talking about the present.
Why do you keep treating us like we're your worst enemies? Shut up! I've never had anyone tell me that the value of a person is determined based on the husband's occupation and income. Oh, just think about it, Samantha. Looking at the numbers, my husband Caden is a doctor, and he makes $100,000 annually. On the other hand, Melanie's husband, who's Caden's brother, Sean, only makes $30,000 annually because he has an office job. Don't you see that there's a whole world amount of difference between us? It has nothing to do with whether we're happy with our lives.
You wished. I'm sure you're unhappy with your lives. We're living a very happy life. Shut up!
I know you're always eating vegetables because you can't afford to buy meat, and you're always just shabby with cheap clothes. It's my belief that there isn't any type of clothing more comfortable than a t-shirt.
I agree. They're easy to wear, and you can match them with different outfits.
When I cook, I tend to use a lot of vegetables because I want us to be eating healthy.
That's right. We want to stay healthy by eating a lot of vegetables.
I know you guys are just being bitter because you can't admit it. What? You're saying that because you don't want to admit it, you can only afford to buy those grasses. I pity you for not being able to eat whatever you want. I thought you guys take turns. Huh? If I remember correctly, I thought you and Melanie are taking turns to cook. Oh, that's right. We've always been taking turns to a point where it's natural to me. I've just lost track of who was the one that was cooking. Is that true? Nope. Don't answer on my behalf. Anyways, Melanie and I always divide the work among us. I cook and I do the laundry, and I just happen to lose track of which work we've divided. Is that true? Nope. Oh, please believe me. Why is it then that we're always eating food with a lot of vegetables every day? That's because I've always been reading the room, and I've been cooking something at her level. Imagine if I end up serving better food than Melanie. I would end up embarrassing her. Besides, I care about the nutrition of my family too.
Tammy, you're awesome! You're a perfect wife!
Oh, tell me about it. If you're such a nice person to cook food at my level, I wonder what makes you turn me away from this restaurant just because of what I'm wearing. That's because you're not wearing the right clothes for the time and place.
And that's why we even asked if we should get changed before we get here. Oh, you should have been dressed appropriately to begin with.
He's right. You shouldn't ever show up to a restaurant like this without wearing anything gorgeous.
That's why we told you to leave, but you won't even try to understand. We don't understand you either.
What? You keep talking about the right time and place, but you keep talking about income and occupation. And you keep looking down at us, assuming that we're not happy with our lives.
Is it really the right place and time for you to make a scene like that in such a public setting?
Besides, we're the ones who decide whether we're living a happy life or not. It's not something others should judge based on our income or what we're wearing. I agree with Melanie and Sean. I'm sure the two of you are happy. We are. That's not possible. They only make $30,000. She can't even buy expensive purses or clothing. There's no way she can be living a happy life.
We're happy.
Oh, you're just saying that because you don't want to admit it.
Tammy.
What is it?
You shouldn't be measuring other people using a ruler that can only measure things from your perspective.
What? Happiness is directly proportional to how much income. Nope, that's not always true. Huh?
Both Melanie and I enjoy DIY projects. We'd rather build things together than buy expensive fur coats to look luxurious.
DIY, isn't that about picking up garbage from the street and painting them? Not necessarily. We'd build a chest, a bed frame, a loft, and a lot of other things like that.
Oh, I don't envy you guys for being able to make those things. I would never ask you to teach me how to make those things. I would never.
Hey, stop envying them. I don't allow you to.
I want a chainsaw.
I'd only allow the type that grows out of your head. Besides, if those things can keep you happy, it only tells me that you're some cheap people inside and out from your soul. Oh, I don't agree. I feel that creation is a noble virtue that only a human species gets to enjoy. Oh, Samantha, you don't understand anything. Happiness is all about how much you can afford to own the best quality items. So you're talking about shopping at expensive brands. Huh? Tammy, you're saying that a high-level happiness is to use money as if you're flushing them down the toilet, to buy high-brand purses, clothes, and jewelry.
Huh?
Oh, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh my God, what are those?
I thought I threw them away. Why are they here? You should have thrown them away somewhere outside of home.
Hey, Tammy, what the heck are these statements?
Well, I just happen to live the way a doctor's wife should.
This one, and this one, and this one too! They're all maxed out too! How are you even gonna pay these off?
You make a lot of income since you're a doctor. You can just pay them off for me.
There's no way! Each of these has a credit limit of $30,000 and there are 10 of them! You owe a total of $300,000! And to make it worse, you're already late for the payments, and if you don't pay them off by the end of this month, we'll get our properties seized! Imagine if the hospital finds out about this. I could be in trouble at work!
Oh, I'm sure you would have been in trouble either way.
Huh?
You're having an affair, right?
What?
You're having an affair with the director's wife, who's 12 years older than you.
What? Is that true, Sean?
No, she's lying! Don't listen to her!
You shouldn't underestimate how rumors spread quickly.
This must be true. How dare you raise your voice at me like that? You don't deserve to get mad at me.
I had to do what I had to do because I wanted to get promoted. It's called conducting business. I'm not like you.
Oh, you're not getting away with this. You're guilty.
But I'm not like you.
This food looks great.
Mom, this is gonna be my treat to you.
Oh, thank you. Shall we start eating then?
What would you like us to do with the food for the two of them over there?
Oh, don't worry about it.
We don't want to be wasteful.
Please go ahead and cancel their food.
Huh?
What about the cancellation fee?
It'll be on a separate check.
What? Understood. Wait, hold on!
How dare you make us pay for the cancellation fee for the food when we're having a problem here? We're not paying for it.
Of course we're not! This is all your fault, Sean, Melanie. You guys should pay for the cancellation.
Oh, but I thought you looked down on us as people who live in cheap happiness. Are you sure you want to beg us to pay the cancellation fee for you?
Shut up. No matter what you say, we're not.
We? You and I have nothing to do with each other.
What?
How dare you spend all my money the way you did? You're gonna pay for this check.
What? You're my husband, which means what I pay for will be what you pay. So you're having to pay for this.
I'm gonna break up with you. You're a stranger to me at this point.
What did you say? Only you made more income.
Ah!
Thank you for the food.
That was such a great meal.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for choosing us. We look forward to serving you again. Wait for us! Oh, where do you think you're going?
We're leaving too.
They're leaving us. Get out of our way! You still have a check to pay for.
What?
How much is it? It's going to be $1,000.
We can't pay that.
I'll call the police then.
What?
Since Caden and Tammy weren't able to pay for the check, they were taken under arrest on the spot because Samantha had reported Caden's affair to the hospital. Caden ended up leaving his job after being in a messy argument. The two of them ultimately filed for divorce. Tammy ended up getting charged with all the money she spent. I heard she now works night and day while she lives a lonely life. As for me, I'm continuing on with my life that I feel most comfortable and happy with, as I always have felt. The DIY furniture that the two of us have made has been in the local newspaper, too. Troublebusters.